What's up? This is Derek.
Jamie Madrock.
Man, this your man's Obi Trice.
This is Ad-Lib.
Yo, what up? This is Spesh One.
This is Spesh K.
Hot Rock's motherfucking Skot MC.
Breaking
Records.
Breaking Records Radio out here.
This is Breaking Records Radio.
Check them out, man.
You know what it is, your man Maloney, MLNY, Breaking Records Radio, in the place to be. And we got a very special guest on the phone with us right now. One half of the Mash Out Posse, M.O.P, Mr. Billy Danze on the phone. How's it going, man?
I'm good, brother. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. You know, just another cold-ass Toronto day up here. Freezing like a motherfucker.
Hey, it's cold in Toronto in the summertime, man.
Yeah, man, we always cold.
Cool.
But yeah, man, I know that you're doing a press run right now, so you got more interviews lined up after this. You got somewhere to be at 6, so we won't make it super long. But I would love to get you on the phone again sometime because there's so much history you and Lil Fame got that I would love to discuss with you guys.
Listen, whenever you want to do it, brother, I'm always available. Fame's always available. So, and we appreciate the support, man.
Hey, man.
For real, you know what I mean?
Salute, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I love M.O.P's music. Before we even get jumping, like, honestly, To the Death. That's one of I like. Well, I mean, your music always elevates, right? But there's something about that raw sound of that album. Like, I just love that. Like, how about some hardcore, obviously, but then, Mash 'em out, no doubt. Top of the line. Oh man, Top of the Line is the joint, man. That's one of my favorite joints by you guys.
Thank you, brother. You know what? That's one of mine too. And this is a record that I really don't talk about too much, or people don't really mention. But definitely one of my favorite records. Not just because it was, one of the first records that we put together, but just what that record means, and that around that time that we created it. You know what I mean? So Top of the Line definitely was. It was dope. Here's some people don't know, like with that record and Annie Up and Heist Masters, like the main part of those hooks was things that we got from like the older people in our neighborhood, like not what we call our OGs, but like the older people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my boy's grandfather or my mother. Or,
oh, word.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Annie Up came from my mother.
What?
Head 'em Up, Move 'em Out came from a gentleman that was older than my mom that we used to call Uncle Herb. So an old man, you know what I mean? So we got our lingo from the old heads in the neighborhood. Well, we can call them old heads.
Oh man, that's crazy because like even just that chant too, you know what I mean? Like it just sounds so raw and rugged, like.
Right.
That's crazy, man. That's super dope. That's cool. That's real cool. And actually, talking about just like the older heads in the neighborhood and your OGs and stuff. One thing before we talk about the new EP, one thing I was always curious about is because like I read before that like M.O.P was a gang that you guys formed in Brownsville, right? But
right.
Like on the first album and stuff, you guys always referred yourselves as the Mash Out Posse's last generation. So I've always kind of been confused, like. You know what I mean? Was that like a gang in your guys' hood, and you guys are the last generation of it, or like were you guys like? Did you guys start it?
Well, we kind of vowed to make sure because we grew up watching everything, seeing everything.
Yeah.
And the gangs that were left in my neighborhood was the Tomahawks. That was the oldest gang, and by the time we were coming up, they had already fizzled out. But we are sort of like offspring of that.
Okay.
Tomahawk. And this is before the name Mash Out Posse even came about. But growing up the way we grew up, we figured we would be the last generation of dealing with all the nonsense that we dealt with growing up in the neighborhood. So we didn't want our kids or our nephews and little cousins to have to deal with it. So it was the last generation of that nonsense. You know what I mean?
Okay, word. Dope. I like that. Yeah, that's cool, man. So you guys kind of like, it's like after, you know what I mean, like set the foundation so the youth doesn't have to go up and go through the shit that you did and have to deal with the streets. You're the last generation of them, like the Mash Out Posse for real, like.
Right.
Okay, cool, dope, man, dope.
Right.
Yeah. We will move it forward a little bit, though. Like I said, like I'd love to get you on the phone another time and just talk history because there's so much of it. But you currently are promoting a new EP you just put out called Six Pack.
Well, it's the 6-pack from the Billy Dance Project.
Okay, so the Billy Dance Project's upcoming then?
And
like
and it's not actually an EP. I've heard people call it an EP, but it's not an EP. It's my version of a single.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Billy Dance Project is actually the album that that I'll put out later on.
Yep.
But right now, I need to give you my version of the single, which is the 6-pack. Self-explanatory is 6 banging joints on there. You know what? I won't even say banging. I'll let you decide, or the public decide exactly what it is. But I put 6 records on there so people can enjoy from different angles. Of course, I covered the M.O.P. ground. And then, it's out now. People are enjoying it. I mean, dude, we'll really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're actually, the feedback has been tremendous. So,
yeah, that's dope, man. I like that because, back in the days, you actually used to cop singles and there would be B-sides and stuff, and you don't really get that with the game anymore. So I think that's cool how you kind of put your twist on a single, but instead of getting the acapella and all that other stuff, you just get 6 joints.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, yourself, like, you can have all the passes, the acapella, the instrumental, the cleans, the dirties. You know what I'm saying? You can have that.
Yeah.
Guys that's in your position can have that, but I don't want to throw that all out to the public like that because, for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Just certain people are privileged to that. That's why you have it, and a few others have it. And that's it.
That's dope, man. Well, I appreciate that. First off. Yeah, man, that's real cool, and I was glad to see you put out something solo as well too. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first solo venture you've done.
Yes,
yeah.
Ever. And really, like, I've been trying to do it for the longest. It's just, I mean, understand how hard it is not to create solo records, but the thought of having a solo record after being a part of not just any group, but almost the world's most incredible group for all of this time. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it was a little bit weird. So I really started this process years ago where, I had done some records and put them out. I even did a record with Rich Kid out of Toronto.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, Rich Kid produced a record for myself featuring Busta Rhymes, which is called Undescribable, which is a banging record.
Oh, shit. I haven't even heard that. I'll have to check that.
Yeah, look it up. It's called Undescribable. You might find it. I mean, it'll be Billy Dance featuring Busta Rhymes, or you might find it the other way, Busta Rhymes featuring Billy Dance. But it's my record, produced by Rich Kid. So this was some time ago. I've been trying to get this done, but something kept pulling me away and going back to complete M.O.P. albums, which I'm not really mad about at all. But I don't want to say hindered me. It's just I wasn't ready to jump all the way out there. But now, I got my legs under me and I'm ready to go on this solo thing. And solo, by the way, solo doesn't mean I'm on my own. The group is broken up because every record on this 6-pack, like if Fame didn't approve it, then it wouldn't be on the 6-pack.
Oh, dope. So he kind of executive produced it then.
Anything I do is executive producing.
Word, dope.
His opinion matters much more than anyone else's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he says it's not cool, if he says it's not a go, then it's not a go.
Dope, man. And yeah, because you even got Fame on it too, right? On the one joint, so.
Of course.
Yeah.
I got Fame and Teflon on the joint.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Teflon on there too. What is that the first joint you, Fame, and Teflon have done in like a while?
No, see, again, like I want to make sure people understand, like we haven't. There's no conflict inside, and internally with the group. So we do records. We just do records and place them where we need to place them and set them up to put out when we need to put them out. It's just right now it's not time to put them out, and we are working on an M.O.P. album as well too. So
okay, dope.
You know what I mean? So we always working, bro.
Yeah, man. You guys. Well, that's one thing. You guys do consistently work. Like throughout the years, I can't really think of a period of time where M.O.P. wasn't putting out music.
Right.
Like no hiatuses I can really think of.
Even what we would call a hiatus to the general public, it wouldn't be a hiatus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause we'll already have joint stockpiled and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And then you guys just mash out, throw them all out,
Right.
and you kind of like just
That's
take
right.
over the underground for a bit with consistent music again.
Right. Exactly.
Word, man. So one thing I did notice about the project that I was curious about, there wasn't any of the traditional M.O.P. producers on there. Like there was, Fizzy didn't do a joint on there. DR, Primo. How did you acquire the producers for this? Was it kind of like a new angle? You were trying to kind of create your own sound, so you work with some new producers, kind of thing, or?
Well, no, I wasn't trying to create. I mean, I'm an artist, so I do what comes to me.
Yeah.
Like I worked with huge producers, as you already know. I worked with huge artists, but I want to work on what feels good to me at the moment.
Yeah.
So if it's a beat from whoever the biggest producer is, it may not work for me Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe Joey Mafia or G Wiz or Quincy Tone, you know what I'm saying, or School Lover, Johnny Famous. Maybe that one of the beats from those guys work for me Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna stop my process. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go when it's time to go. So, and then I always like helping out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dudes with talent out there that people don't see because they're so focused on the people that don't really need their money or don't really need their attention because they're already out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like working with the underdog. But as you can see, even though these guys are not so well known, their production game is up to par. So they can hang with the best of them. So, you know, and they gave me dope beats, and I was feeling, you know, what they were doing at that moment, what they have done at that moment. So I was like, you know what, let's get to it.
Yeah. All right, man. So do you have any personal favorites on the new 6-pack that just, you know, they just hit you a certain way?
I think, well, I love them all, to be honest. But I think Halle Berry.
Yeah?
Maybe. Yeah, and I'm probably just saying that today, right? Like, Halle Berry may be my favorite right now. But then tomorrow could be Whoppin'.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Whoppin' is so, to me, it's the fresh. It's like, what did my business partner call it? Flashback to the future.
Okay.
I think that's what he called it. A flashback to the future. Meaning, you know, the younger audience can vibe to it because it's kind of got a different kind of swing from old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But lyrically, content-wise, and I guess kind of the rap pattern kind of works for both an older generation and a newer generation.
Yeah.
And then the whole Whoppin', you know, we know where that comes from. Years ago, that the big record that was out called Whoppin', and they kind of used that same, which I think they sampled it, but I kind of did it live. That whole Whoppin', I did that live, and it kind of bridges the gap between the old and the new for me.
Yeah.
And to actually do a record with my boy School, I grew up in his, you know, we grew up in the same neighborhood. I mean, I know his mother really well. We know each other's families really well, and so to do a record with him, as long as we've both been in the business, we've never really actually did a record together. So I think that's my favorite right now, bro.
Fire!
Yeah, I needed help with that one, brother. Right on time.
Hey. So before we let you go, because I know that you got a big promo run you're doing. You got another interview to do at 7. And like I said before, I'd love to get you on the phone again to talk some history. But DJ Premier is my favorite producer of all time. You guys are both very close collaborators. Or, I don't even know if that's a word, but you guys collaborate very closely throughout your whole career. I was just kind of curious, like, how did the whole relationship with DJ Premier build from the get-go?
I mean, it came from the passion that both parties had for the music, and Premier. Obviously, we're actually fans of Gangstar first because they were out first.
Yeah.
And to find out that Premier was fans of M.O.P. and we only had one record. This was before we even dropped the album.
Oh, word.
Which was crazy. And what happened was me and my boy Boo Bang, God bless him. If you probably remember, if you're an M.O.P. fan from way back, there was a third member on the stage. We called him OG Boo Bang, and me and him were actually riding the public transportation. We were on the subway one day, and I looked down the subway car, and it looked like dude. I wasn't really even sure of his name at the time, but it was J. I'm like, yeah, that looked like the dude from the video.
Yeah.
And we were kind of locked eyes, looked at each other. We got up, started talking or whatever. It was like, yo, Premier loves y'all, whatever, boom, boom, y'all should come holler at him, come to the studio or whatever. So we wound up going to the radio station maybe a couple days later and linked up for Premier, and it was like all of them. We walked in the room, and it's definitely been the same since then. So even like when you go in the studio, it don't even feel like a regular session, even though we get our work done, but it just kind of feel like you're going over to your cousin's house that you haven't seen in a few months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you kind of just sit there and vibe out for a while, and then then you get the record done. Because Premier is always somebody I value his opinions, though. I want to make sure that I do, I want to be spectacular. I want to be sharp when I'm in the studio with him.
Yeah.
And that's what he gives you. He gives you that. He gives me that lift, that boost to be at my best. You know what I mean? So shout out to DJ Premier, one of the, if not the greatest producers of all time.
Yeah, hands down. He's my favorite hip-hop producer of all time. And there's a certain energy that you guys get when you work together. It's just, like, perfect. Like, kind of like, I don't know. You guys actually might be my favorite, like, duo, like, M.O.P. and Primo. Like, that might be my favorite mix with Primo, aside from maybe Royce. You two are, like, neck and neck with that. Like, the way you guys work with Primo, it's always on point, always just rugged, raw.
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what kind of beat he gives you, and you guys always flow that shit perfectly.
Yeah, I think it's because we bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like I expect Preem to be on his A game because they expect me to be on my A game.
Yeah.
And the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope.
I think that's kind of what it is, bro.
Dope, man.
And you're right. I don't really think any other combination of 3-man crew. Two rappers and a DJ can really top that. And that's not, I'm not. I mean, I could try to be modest, I could whatever, but that's just the truth. Although I love what him and Royce does. Other records that he's done with other cats were dope, but we have just a larger body of work. So you can't really compare a lot of other artists to that.
Yeah, man, and that's one thing I think, really is always kind of with me true, like with M.O.P. too, because like throughout your whole career, you guys always kind of link back with Preem. As where a lot of other artists, there's a lot of artists I feel like in hip hop who kind of used Preem to gain the streets or the hip hop crowd, and then they don't go back to that essence that kind of built them as they further on in their career. But you guys and Preem are always, you guys are always in the mix, always.
Right.
Kind of like
bro,
Fat Joe and Preem too.
Thing.
Yeah.
More of a family thing. And that's where the comfortability comes in. And when you're comfortable, you can perform the way that you should.
Yeah.
Whether you're the producer or the artist.
Yeah, and when you're always working to bring the best out of each other, that's when you get the best material too. When everybody's kind of trying to make the other person do the screw face and be like, "What the fuck?" Like that's when you that's when you get
exactly.
that. Yeah, man. So I know that you do got to get flying, but I just wanted to ask another thing too about the early history. When you guys did How About Some Hardcore, that was Hype Williams that directed that video, wasn't it?
Right. Well, yeah, it was Hype Williams, but it was our idea. It was our concept. We kind of told him, do this, do that. But yeah, and I do think that was his very first video, M.O.P's first video, and his very first video.
That's what I was going to ask actually, if that was his first video, because I can't think of any work of his that exceeds older than that.
Yeah, M.O.P. Yeah, we gave him his first shot, and he gave us our first video.
That's crazy, man. How did you guys link with Hype to begin with to really
You know what, bro? At that time, we were still so fresh in the business. So my management team took care of that, and we were kind of fresh off the block, so there was a lot of history moving around, and it was such a long time ago. So I don't know exactly how that happened, but I'm glad it did, because that brought us to this point, right, while we're having this conversation. That helped us get here.
Yeah, definitely. And just like the way, both you guys branched off and the things both you guys succeeded separately beyond that, it's phenomenal, man. I think, I love those little nooks and pieces of hip-hop history, you know what I mean? I just think it's so cool. Like, when I interviewed Cool G Rap, he had one of the first Trackmaster beats for, the remix of On the Run? But you know what I mean? Just so cool to hear, you know what I mean? To see what they went on after that and, Cool G and his career. And it's just, I love hearing those little, tidbits of info, it's just so cool to me. I just think it's so cool.
Well, you know what the thought in my head is. You always want to create something that's gonna last and have longevity. Because right now, we're talking about G-Rap, we're talking about Hype Williams, M.O.P's first record. So many years later, up until now, so many years later, we've done all of this, and we created all these records, traveled the world 3 or 4 times, and now we're here talking about the Billy Dan Project 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But after all of that, you know what I'm saying? So, and I would have a question for you. Now I'm going to interview you, brother, if you got a minute.
All right.
What is your thought on, first, let's talk about the 6-pack. If you listen to all the records on the 6-pack, what's your favorite, and what are your thoughts on my version of a single? You know what I mean? On all the records.
Well, firstly, I think, I didn't get a chance to hear the whole joint yet, but from everything I've heard, I think it's really dope. I've always wanted to hear you solo, to be honest, because you got that raw energy. Fame is real sharp lyrically, and then you've always been you got bars, but you're just you got that raw emotion. What's a Face Off 2K1, the one joint on Warriors with the preem beat, right? Where you're you get real deep on it, right?
Okay, yeah.
Is that the one? I think I'm thinking of the right one.
Is that the Face Off, or are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm just using it as an example. But Face Off 2K1, yeah,
I got you.
Where you get real deep on that, right? And I've always wanted to hear you separate. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. You guys are so what's the word I'm looking for? When you guys rap together, it's so in your face. Mash out. It's mash out.
Right.
But so I've always kind of because I get little tidbits of you getting real deep in some of the M.O.P songs. So I've always been curious to hear your own project. So everything I've heard on it so far, I think it's incredible. I think what you've done, I think you've really got a good place where you've got your own voice. I haven't heard all the joints yet. I Make You Famous because it just reminisces me of the homage of a little fame and make you famous and shit like that, right? I like that, things that give you the tidbits, the stuff you love. And I would say Halle Berry. I like Halle Berry a lot too.
Yeah. Okay. It's got that rock feel to it. That's why I like it.
Yeah. And you guys have always done dope with the rock feel.
The hook to Halle Berry is, I don't know where my head was when I came up with that hook, but I think the hook, when I performed that record, as soon as the strings, the guitars drop, it's nuts, and then when I get into the hook, it feels like the biggest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah,
just the hook alone, and and then I kind of dance through the verses. So I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with it. I just asked for your opinion, so. Because I value, not just the tastemakers or the fan or my friends, but I value everybody's opinion, even the people that don't like what I'm doing. I'll value their opinion.
Yeah, because it's good to know what they don't like.
But I'll switch up for the greater good of what I'm trying to accomplish as a solo artist or just in a business period.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. And yeah, I'm gonna tonight. I'm gonna check out the rest of the project because I just got it sent to me yesterday. So yeah, I got through about half of it, I would say. I think.
Right. Okay.
I think there's
Listen,
two.
bro, take your time,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I want you to soak it all in, man.
Yeah, and I'll keep you posted too. I'll hit you up and let you know after I get to take everything in and listen to it in the proper order because I wasn't listening in order either, which is a big pet peeve of mine. But I was just like, oh, what's it? You know what I mean? Clicking through, listening to it, try and check it out as quick as I could because I was in the middle of some shit. But yeah, man. Well, thank you very much for your time, man. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? It's your man, MLNY, Maloney, Breaking Records Radio. You know what it is. I'm just here to tell you guys right now that you want to, if any of my smokers out there, basically, any of my Canadian smokers, now that it's legal, what you got to do is you got to head over to thccollection.com and check them out. And make sure you use the promo code HIPHOP. That's HIPHOP. And that's all capital letters. Save 10% on every purchase that you make. Anytime. They got everything. They got deals every single day of the week, which include like free whatever with whatever you buy. And my favorite is Tulip Tuesday. You can get $100 ounces. And that's only on Tuesdays, and you save 10% on every purchase with the promo code HIPHOP, all caps. That's HIPHOP. So make sure you go over there, check them out. That's thccollection.com for all your good medible needs, for all your good greenery, your extracts, and all that good stuff.